My dear child, can you feel it? Something sacred is beginning to stir deep within you, a quiet, holy movement I planted in your spirit long before your very first tear fell. You've walked through valleys of pain, through nights that seemed never-ending, clinging to memories that only whispered lies about your worth. But I saw it all. Not a single second slipped past me. And now, something is shifting. This isn't more of the same pain. It's the breaking of what no longer serves you. I'm not adding to your struggle. I'm rebuilding your life. From the ashes, I'm creating something brand new. Not patched or repaired, but reborn. You've stared at the ruins so long, you started to think they were home. But those scars, the loss, the ones who left, they were loud, yes, but never final. They were the doorway into the life I've always meant for you to live. You were never meant to stay stuck in your pain. The enemy tried to make my silence feel like absence, but that silence was sacred. That's when I began preparing your future, solid, deep, and unshakable. When you thought I had turned away, I was working behind the scenes, aligning everything for something more beautiful than you dared imagine. I never left. I never forgot you. Like a potter gathering every shattered piece, I've been shaping something even more beautiful than what was before. The world may have called you lost, but I call you mine. Others judged you by what you've done, but I see the grace of your return. You wept over the years that felt wasted, but none of it was. Not the tears, not the waiting, not the aching silence. I've used every moment as a foundation for what's coming. I never waste pain, I transform it. And this transformation, it's already begun. Even now, while prayers remain unanswered and hope feels fragile, I'm weaving together something extraordinary. You may still see the mess, but I see the miracle already in motion. I know how exhausted you are. I know the weight of smiling when your heart is empty. I've seen how heavy hope has felt, how close you've come to quitting, but you didn't. Even your smallest breath, your faintest whisper, I was there. That was enough. Don't confuse my quiet with absence. I've been speaking through sunsets you nearly missed, kind words from strangers, and every breath you took in pain. These were my whispers, gently reminding you, you've never been alone. You asked, why did it have to hurt this much? I hold that question close. I know it was born from deep sorrow. But hear this, the pain didn't destroy you, it formed you. Your tears weren't signs of weakness. They watered the seeds I planted long ago. What you lost won't be your end. What broke you won't be wasted. I'm not just returning what was taken, I'm giving you more than the past ever could. Can you sense it? Something is awakening. The emptiness is beginning to fill. Buried dreams are rising again. You're stepping into a season of healing, not because you've earned it, but because I love giving it. You're not building alone. My hands are on every detail. My breath fills every space. And this time, the walls won't crumble. The joy won't fade. The foundation won't crack. Because I'm not just writing a new page, I'm rebuilding your entire life. I've seen what hides behind your silence, the heartbreak, the regrets, the unanswered questions. You've moved through life like a shadow, present but disconnected, waiting for something to reignite your soul. The world may have overlooked you, but I haven't. I've been with you in every quiet ache. I've held every sigh like treasure. You thought your world was falling apart, but really, it was falling into my hands. That waiting you hated, it wasn't abandonment. It was a sacred pause where I cleared away what couldn't stay and made space for what would last. You weren't made to simply survive. I created you to live, fully, freely, joyfully. But to build something eternal, I had to dismantle what was temporary and fragile. You cried, thinking I didn't care, but I was already moving, just not in ways you expected. You looked for signs in the sky, for quick answers and loud miracles, but I was working in the roots, deep and slow. I let certain dreams go, not to punish you, but to prepare you for more. What I'm building now requires deep ground and stronger trust, and you showed that trust, even in your doubt, your fear, your whispers of my name. That was love. That was worship. That's why I'm rebuilding. Not just because I can, but because you're worth it. Everything I'm doing now is drenched in love. What's coming won't resemble the past. It won't be a redo. It'll be a full redemption. I know you've compared your story, wondered why others seem further, but I didn't call you to compare. I called you to closeness with me. Your journey is yours. I'm not rushing it. When I build for eternity. And what I'm building in you, it will last. It won't collapse under pressure because I'm the one holding it together. You've had moments where you nearly gave up, but every time you reached your limit, I gave you strength you didn't even know you had. You're not weak. You're not forgotten. You're being refined, not ruined. You walk through fire, but you're coming out gold. That strength, that was my spirit alive in you. I gave you breath when it felt too hard to breathe. I gave you courage in your silence. And now the winds are shifting. A new beginning is already unfolding. Everything that's happened has a place in the plan I wrote for you long before time began. You may not see how the pieces fit, but I do. Even the dust of your pain has become the clay in my hands. You're stepping into a season of grace, not because you checked every box, but because I love restoring what the world gave up on. I'm giving you back peace, joy, and wonder. You forgot how to dream, but I didn't. I've kept your hopes safe, and now I'm breathing life into them again. Not in the way you pictured, but in the way your heart truly needs. I'm not putting a bandage on your life. I'm rebuilding from the ground up. Every scar has meaning. Every wound holds promise. I'm exchanging fear for courage, shame for honor, loss for purpose, and confusion for peace. This isn't a repair job, it's a resurrection. So rest now. Release the panic. Let go of the expectations. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for your heart. I'm not building on human deadlines. I'm creating something eternal, and you'll see it. You'll stand in the place I prepared for you and say, only God could have done this. And you'll know deep down, I was never alone. He was never silent. He was always building quietly, lovingly, faithfully. My child, I'm not just writing a new chapter. I'm rebuilding your whole life. If this message touched your heart, take a moment to breathe, reflect, and share it with someone who needs to hear it too. You're not alone. And this is just the beginning of something beautiful.